What's up, everyone? The red light is on. It is Tuesday. It's 1 o'clock here on the East Coast. We are live. Dave Van Auken, L. Dawson. L, how are you doing today?
I am doing. I'm doing. That's about it. That's about all you're getting out of me. But
What a way to start it. We are on fire.
We are here.
Hey, I did see yesterday, and we got so much to get into. I love shows like this. I got a list. We're not going to get close to it. I guess we got to go live more and more this week, and we will. We'll get into that in a second. But didn't I see Kayla Harrison walk into American Top Team with 18 pounds of gold on her shoulder yesterday? Did I see that right?
Right in the middle of Mako Monday. Perfect time to greet the champ. You know, it's just awesome to see her. And you see from the video, you see the relationship she has with the team, how just loved she is in the gym. Like, it's 100% real. Like, everybody is just so freaking stoked to see her win that belt.
Love it. Love it. I'm pushing buttons right now, Elle, because I'm trying to find our Friday show. Trying to find it. Here we go. Boom. So, guys, like I said, we're going to be live multiple times this week. We're live right now. Also, tomorrow night at 9 p.m., we'll be live. But this is what I want on the show. Elle, I cannot wait. Friday morning, I'll be getting up early, driving straight to your house. We have multiple guests coming from American Top Team, maybe champions, maybe soon-to-be champions. Also, we have a couple people that I think will kind of surprise people who we have. We have like analysts and people that work for ESPN. We have Fight Banana favorites, Fight Bananas favorites. We have a lot of people merging at your house in between 1 to 3:30 p.m. on the East Coast. It's going to be a fun day, Elle. I can't wait.
I'm pumped. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a little chaotic here at the Dawson house, but we're going to have like probably a good dozen people cycle through over the course of a few hours. So, and somebody's going to go home with a crap ton of Zen. So
I got them right over there. I think we're going to have around 45, 50 packs. I have 7 different flavors right now. I think that's what I'm kind of very happy about. The amount of flavors we got. It's going to be awesome.
Will Ariel Helwani be there?
We're what?
No, definitely not.
I know I'm not diss Ariel Helwani, but I'm just not the biggest fan. Like I wouldn't be elated to like have him be a part. Am I wrong on saying that?
No, he wouldn't be my number one choice either. Yeah,
just not, hey, everyone's a couple
people that are still allowed at UFC events.
Yes. Well, we have a guy who's at every UFC pay-per-view. He will be live with us. So can't wait. Like I said, we might say some names in the next couple of days, but I kind of like this mysterious thing that we have going on.
I'm still confirming sometimes, but I know our top 2 names on the list are for sure showing up. So
right. I don't know. Maybe a fighter that rhymes with Richavo will be there. I don't know. Maybe. Or Lush. We have to have a whole Dakota segment, right? But
I don't think there's ever been a Fight Banana show when she had a fight, when she didn't have a fight, that she wasn't talked about. So
all right, so 25 minutes from now, Joshua Van, one of our favorite flyweights in the division. We're very pro Pantoja podcast. He's an absolute monster. Trains with Elle all the time at ATT. But Joshua Van's been on the show, was great on her show. He is so fun to watch. Like, as a fan of mixed martial arts and a fan of the UFC, put on a Joshua Van fight any week. And they're doing it. UFC 316 and UFC 317. Big month. Like, Joshua Van could steal the year of 2025. So he'll be on.
Crazy jump, though. Like, we just have to, like, guys ranked 10 right now. Previously, before beating Bruno Silva, he was ranked 14, I believe.
14.
So, as of Friday night, Joshua Van was the 14th ranked flyweight. In a month,
4 weeks.
In 4 weeks, he is going to be fighting the number 1 contender of the division.
It's amazing.
And
I say this all the time. That's why I love the UFC. In any other sport, you can't do that. You can have good months or good years or years out of nowhere in football and basketball. Joshua Van in 4 weeks can go from a contender, someone in the rankings, to the number one contender. He would fight Pantoja next. Like, he would.
No, and that's insane. Like, we're 2 through 9 busy. Like, it's just bizarre. And I'm not hating. Joshua Van probably was the only guy that was like, yeah, I absolutely will turn around in 4 weeks and make the weight. Like, but it's crazy. Like, and we saw Steve Erceg was ranked 10, 11 at the time, took on Pantoja, had a really close fight with him. So this could be a huge moment. This could be a huge coming out party for Joshua Van. Not that he's not already a fan favorite.
Absolutely. But guys, let's not go over the headlines. Let's talk about Kayla Harrison and Merab Dvalishvili, co-main and main event. One won a championship, one defended his championship, both winning by submissions, both winning by stoppages, both winning by, I would say this, and maybe you agree or disagree, dominating fashion. With Kayla, and we'll jump, and I know I'm probably jumping too much. Both fighters were dominant in their fights in different ways too. Like that, everyone's saying this. Guys, Sean O'Malley looked awesome. His footwork, moving in and out, he looked good. He was striking, trying to strike. Merab is just on another level. We're just seeing this evolution, and this is the best bantamweight. I said it a year ago. Grant, your husband, agreed with me. This is the best bantamweight ever. This is it, guys. We are watching history in the making, and for him to submit Sugar, and I think a really high-level Sugar, Sean O'Malley, what a hell of a performance by Merab Dvalishvili.
No, I don't disagree. I think that and G and I disagreed a little bit on this on Sunday. I thought that the Sean O'Malley camp's game plan was stellar. I really did. I thought they had a much better game plan for this time. I think a lot of people, when they come in to fight a wrestler, they stand in front of them, they plant their feet, and they're ready to down block. That's not how you fight a good wrestler. You fight them exactly how Sean O'Malley fought the first round. Move your feet, make yourself an incredibly hard target to find. And I don't want to discredit. I didn't want to discredit Sean O'Malley, and I don't think Gillian did either. I was really impressed with the game plan that his camp prepared. I think Merab is just a different animal. I think he's just that good. I think both of them elevated their games so much since the first time they fought. And Merab he's the best guy. Like, he's the best guy. I don't think anybody's beating him right now. I think Umar had the best shot. Sure. And yeah, sure. I want to see that rematch. Absolutely. I'd watch that fight again, but O'Malley should have brought in Craig Jones for his camp.
I think that's too late. I will disagree, and I don't know if this was Jillian's point or just a totally different point. The one thing, and I'm watching the fight live, and sometimes we talk about this all the time. We're doing a watch along. Coach Mike and myself are watching the pay-per-view, but like you're still trying to be a little entertaining. You're trying. It's a different way to watch fights, but I am watching the fights. The one thing I will say about Sean O'Malley, and I used baseball analogy, I used a football analogy, and I say this all the time to you, El, like if the ESPN hired me and they say, hey, Dave, John Anik is sick. We've seen your stuff. We love you. We're going to put you in that spot for UFC 317. You're going to do for the commentary with DC and Rogan. During that show, I will mention my kids. During the show, I will mention El Dawson. I do all the time. Like, you guys are my people. I will always be who I am. Always, to the day I die, with anything I do with this. I just want Sugar. He was throwing, and some of those spinning back kicks were good. But when he's fighting, I know a less level fighter, but like even a Pedro, like some of these fights I've seen Sugar Sean, like he's just more. I want to say this the right way. Like, he just feels he's the dominant guy. I'm standing here and I'm throwing my punches. Like, I'm throwing my knockout shots. I never thought that one time watching that fight. He's throwing good shots, but he is being elusive because, of course, he doesn't want to be taken down and he can't put his feet in the cement. And I get it. And that's what I mean. I get it. I just never dude, Sean, you lost twice to this guy and you were never the best you. Like, you were never Sugar Sean O'Malley. You tried a different way, but I just be you. Be you.
I don't think that was the problem. I think you're discrediting O'Malley for something you should be giving Merab credit for. Like, I disagree. I think Sean O'Malley fought him beautifully this time. I just think Merab is a better fighter. Like, I think Merab's timing on the striking, if you go back and watch that first round, Merab spends a lot of time being safe, making reads. Okay, I know this guy is dangerous. And O'Malley had some really good moments in that first round where he just looked very clean and like, hey, maybe Merab is going to have a hard time finding him. But Merab would wait until Sean O'Malley, as he's moving, his feet come together. When your feet come together, you can't plant and counter. As soon as Sean O'Malley starts to bring his feet together to move, Merab's throwing. As soon as Sean O'Malley finishes that movement and he's settled and he's planted where he can throw back, Merab's backing up. Like, I think it was the timing of Merab was just so good. And you have to, that exhausting pace, like Gillian said, Merab is not just a cardio machine, he's efficient. Yeah. And you always feel like you are in danger. When can you dribble the basketball? When can you be Sean O'Malley? You know, like, I don't think Sean O'Malley did something wrong. I think Merab was just so smothering in this fight.
No, I get it. I'm not, and I've been very pro Merab Dvalishvili for a year and a half, and last night, and Saturday night, and all, and I totally get it for sure. I'm not trying to take away from Merab at all. Again, I just think, at least even in the Umar fight, I feel like I felt Umar fought his fight better than what Sean did his. I don't know. And also this, Ellen, you know this better. Sometimes it's a bad matchup. Like, it's a horrible matchup for Sean O'Malley. You ready? Sean O'Malley's never meeting Merab. They could be 55 in the grocery store. Merab's going to beat that man to the end of time. So it's a bad matchup. It is what it is. He needs to hope to God. Like, I think you ready? I honestly think if O'Malley went to featherweight and fought Volkanovski, I think O'Malley wins right now. Like, I think he might have his number with striking and get that chin.
I don't think he'd carry as much power up to 45. And then you have to remember Volkanovski is not Merab, but he is a cardio machine with fantastic.
For sure.
He's a very similar fighter to Merab in a lot of ways. So it's like, let's go fight a bigger version of the guy that beats.
No, I agree. If I could say, I think Merab is right now in the heart of his prime, and Volkanovski to me is on the downside of his prime. Same thing like Aljamain Sterling. Aljamain Sterling's been a great featherweight. Barely lost to Mosarf, who's undefeated, doesn't lose fights, and he's won once or twice. And we saw what happened with O'Malley and Sterling. I just think, we're kind of talking around. It's a horrible matchup for O'Malley. Can't beat Merab. Can't do it.
That with the Umar fight too. Sorry, real quick. Where Umar doesn't have to be as afraid of the wrestling because he has better takedown defense. Just not like over time. I'm not hating on O'Malley. I'm just saying, like, Umar's been wrestling so much longer. He has way more reps. But yeah, let's talk about Joshua Van.
What is it?
Honestly,
one more.
Go ahead.
You go.
I'm sorry. I got really excited about this.
No, it's so good.
I don't know if this might just be Damon Blackshear. This sounds like something Kevin Holland would do, but I don't know.
You know who I think did it? You ready for this one? This is so crazy. Look it up, guys. Please help me. John Jones. Didn't John Jones win the co-main event? And then the next month, it was supposed to be Shogun versus Sugar. And Sugar got hurt, and John Jones fought Rua the next month. I think he beat Ryan Bader, if I remember that right. Look that up.
Let's check it out.
Thank you.
Ryan, when he didn't fight Ryan Bader more than once, did he?
No, I don't think so. I thought it was on the way up. It was like his number one contender fight.
The fight before he fought Ryan Bader.
No, after. So he beat Ryan Bader.
Oh, you're saying after he beat Ryan Bader? Yes, he did. Ryan Bader. He beat on February 5th.
Yeah, it was like 3 weeks later he fought Rua.
UFC 126, March 19th, UFC 128. Technically, there was a pay-per-view in between, though.
Was there?
Yes, he went from 126 to 128, so he missed 127. But
wow,
still,
that's good. Yeah.
But they used to they had a lot more pay-per-views at the time. I think I need to hop off for a second.
Okay. Hey, I just got the The best thing ever with that. I don't know how I remember that now. Yeah, great comment right here. Now Jones fights once every 2 years. But guys, and if negative to John Jones or positive John Jones, what we just said, John Jones used to be that guy. He's just, guys, he's out of his prime now. He's an old vet. He's made so much freaking money. Like, John doesn't need to do that anymore. And he's not. You know what I mean? We all see that. But yeah, I remember that. He defeated Bader, was for like the number one contendership, and then he fought a couple weeks later and smashed Shogun Rua. So I know Elle's got a little technical difficulty. She'll be right in back in a second. But what I was just going to say, so we talked a lot about Merab, and I know Elle will definitely want to talk about this, but Kayla Harrison, how freaking amazing did Kayla Harrison look? Just dominant with Juliana Pena. I know the weight cuts are tough, and I know Juliana's loud, and I thought all that didn't matter. When it was fight night, when the bell rang, Kayla looked awesome. She looked dominant. I even thought her striking looked good. She did enough to like not be worried, if that makes sense. She had this like overhand left hand hook that I thought made a lot of sense, and she just kept on getting close. And anytime she was around 4 feet, she did this little bull move of like, hey, I'm protecting myself, but I'm coming straight for you, and then got a hold of Juliana, and that was it. I thought the end of the second round was very she was dominating, and I thought she was just going to get some more ground and pound in. But for her to get that submission, the Kimura, I thought was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And maybe we here at Fight Bananas will see Kayla Harrison Friday live at the UFC card break. So a lot of cool stuff with there. So that was Kevin, Kayla Harrison. I know Elle wants to talk about her, so I don't want to go that far on Kayla. Let me bring up this, guys. Look at these pound for pound rankings that just came out this morning. It's wild. Number one still Islam Makhachev. Number two, though, Merab Dvalishvili jumped up 2 steps over John Jones and Ilia Topuria. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Drake is 5, Mega Man, Volkanovski, JDM, Poatan, Pantoja, Aspinall, Holloway, Bilal. Can't believe he's still in there, right? Charles Oliveira and Arman Sarukian, who they don't want to give a fight to either. But Merab Dvalishvili, pound for pound, number 2 in the world. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. What a time. I remember when felt like the UFC fans were just down on him, right? And now he's the number 2 pound for pound fighter in the world. And it seems like every time I've been saying this, he gets more fanfare and fanfare and fanfare every single time. I'm seeing the fans are louder for him. I know they were pro Sugar, but Sugar's one of the most polarized and unpopular fighters they have in the UFC. And, Merab got the job done. Absolutely stellar performance by him. The number 2 pound for pound fighter in the world. I think it's so cool too that both fighters in the co and the main event of Kayla and Merab both got their next fight. I thought pretty solid, right? Kayla's fighting Amanda Nunes, and like I said, we'll get in that when Elle gets back in. And looks like for sure Merab Dvalishvili is going to fight Corey Sandhagen. Like, we've been wanting that fight for such a long time. It just seems the timing's right. Both fighters, I would guess fall. October, November, September, maybe even. We just turned into June, so maybe September. We'll see how it falls down, but we'll see. Oh, let's see.
Are
you back?
I think so. That was weird. My computer was like, force quit Google Chrome. I was like, no, don't do that.
I did pound for pound rankings with Merab. I really wanted to wait for you with Kayla Harrison. I just one of the great performances. It was so loud, the fight week. Let's just be honest. Juliana's loud. It was the first time at 135. And you could tell all the pressure of the world was on Kayla Harrison, right? And I thought it was just the performance probably couldn't have been any better. I said it earlier. I don't know if you thought about it. I thought on her feet, Elle, she looked awesome. Like, I think she did enough. She had this overhand kind of hook and left she did a couple times. She did enough to get close, and then she did this bowl thing of get to Juliana, and when she grabbed her, over. Good night.
No, I agree, and I think you could see Juliana was afraid of her. Like, Gillian said it perfectly on Sunday. She's like, Juliana's striking style is a very, look at that picture of her and Mike. Her striking style is to come forward. It's not sharp. It's not technical. It's not fast. It's not evasive. It's bulldog. And she immediately, as soon as they met in the center, like, can't remember if they touched gloves or not. She was backing up the whole time. And that's just not conducive to her style, which I don't think if she'd come forward, it would have gone well for her either. But I think like she was so worried about being in the clinch with Kayla that, you know, which I'm torn because I'm like, would you rather be against the cage or would you rather be open mat with somebody who has great wrestling? And it's like,
yeah, another fighter, I feel like not fighting her fight. Like you said, Juliana, I would go out being me. Like Juliana never did that. Like you said, she just moved, like she was afraid and moved back. It felt like she just wanted to hang and not win. And the last thing I'll say on Juliana, please take it away after that. She said something I've never heard. And all those little, you know, where Macy Barber didn't walk out, they always do those little main event. They go back and forth and the people for the UFC says, hey, this person said this. What are you going to say? And they go back and forth. It's black and white. They do it for every main event and co-main event. Juliana literally said in the thing, I don't know if you caught it or heard it, Elle. She goes, yeah, this is the big fight, something like this. She goes, I hope to win tomorrow night or whatever. I'm like, I've never heard that. Like, if you ask any main event or co-main event, Moicano would have looked you in the eye when he fought Islam and says, I will win this fight. You know, it's just, you have to. You have to.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I agree here, Jake. Like, Pena she didn't respect Amanda like she respected Kayla. And I think that a lot of people are off base here with Kayla because I think Amanda's going to be scared of Kayla. Like,
how good is this comment? Not nudes, dude, because it's this one, guys. So got this one first. Now go to this one.
Sorry, I just saw that. No, like I just, yes, it is an incredibly tough fight. She is the female GOAT, but we've seen what happens when she experiences any kind of adversity, and it's not good. You know, and Kayla is a mental monster. Juliana did not beat Amanda Nunes with technique or even like superior strength. It was just pure, I want this more than you. Like, that's all that happened in that moment. And like, yeah, she was sick, whatever the issues were leading into the fight. I'm sure those existed, but Amanda didn't want it as much. And I can see her, and if she ends up in a bad position with Kayla Harrison, who, yes, used to be a lightweight. Like, both these women should be 40. Well, Kayla should be fighting at 145. I think everybody can agree that is her correct weight class, and she is doing what she can with the cards she has been dealt, because the UFC no longer has that weight class unless you're Ketlin Vieira and change your mind halfway through fight week. But that was so weird. It was so random. Yeah. I don't know why we did that. Like, hey, we don't even have this weight class. Let's have a fight at this weight class.
I'm happy you said that. And dude, I'm the third most pro Kayla person there is, Elle. You know that. Absolutely adore her. I got pictures from the wall from like 5 years ago of PFL days with Kayla. I was very early, I think, on the pro Kayla Harrison bandwagon, right? But the one thing if she asked me, I'll say this to her, if we might see her on Friday, whatever. This fight needs to happen at bantamweight. There's no reason this is a 145-pound title fight. And they kind of threw that idea out. That division doesn't exist. They're bantamweights. And if she doesn't want to do that a lot going forward, I totally agree. And I think we kind of talked about it a little bit. I wouldn't be super surprised that this might be it. Like, I wouldn't be totally shocked if she smashes Amanda and we're done. I'm just throwing that out there. And the one last thing I would say about this comment about Sean Sterling that Mighty Mouse said, and most of it, I understand it's a bad matchup, stylistic nightmare for Harrison. It's a stylistic nightmare for Amanda Nunes, though. Like, Amanda is not great against the grappler, wrestler, in-your-face cardio machine types. She didn't stop Felicia Spencer, and I think Kayla's got more skill than the judo background and getting her down in submission. Like, if it gets gritty, if you just say, hey, it's a fourth round gritty mess and one girl submits the other girl in the fourth round, who do you predict is that winner, right?
No, I agree. And that's the thing. It's like, yes, Kayla Harrison. Well, and actually, that's not even true. I could say Kayla Harrison hasn't been touched by somebody with power like Amanda Nunes, but Larissa Pacheco has knockouts. Larissa Pacheco has huge power at 155.
At 155!
And everybody, before she fought Pena, that was like the number one hater conversation was, well, did you see her fight with Larissa Pacheco? I'm like, did you see her fight with Larissa Pacheco? It was 2-2 going into the 5th. And that was just the 3rd time they fought, not including the first 2 times where Kayla smashed her.
Thank you.
That's such a ridiculous argument. Like, they had a really close fight. And I agree with Jake here. I disagree that the fight needs to happen at 135. I do agree with Jake here. I think 135 makes the weight cut incredibly tough for Kayla. Amanda is big right now too, but she is not big and lean. Like, when she fought Cyborg at 145, Amanda did not look shredded. Kayla Harrison will be shredded at 35, 45, 55. Like, she is just has so much muscle. While I think if they did the fight at 145, I do think that helps. I do think that helps Kayla. And honestly, I think that's fine. I don't think this fight has to be at 135. I think the fans will turn out for this no matter what. Yes, it definitely is. It solidifies Kayla more as like the GOAT if she beats her at 135 because of that weight cut and because that weight class actually exists. But if let's say Amanda's like, yeah, I'll do it, but I don't want to make 135. Like, I think the UFC could absolutely do this fight at 145 and the turnout would be the same. I agree. It probably won't, but I think this.
For what do they just fight to fight, or do they make up a title?
Maybe they've made up titles before, and it would. I mean, they basically made up a title for Amanda when she wanted to be a double champ. They didn't really have a division. They didn't even have enough girls to do rankings. How do you have a division with 4 fighters in it? And I won't discredit her. It was such an incredible move by the UFC, and it was well deserved by Amanda. But
sure,
was featherweight ever really a division in the UFC? I'm genuinely curious what the maximum number of featherweight fighters was in the UFC.
So this is such a great conversation, topical. I didn't even know we were going here with it. But then if that's the case, and 135 is horrific for Kayla, right? Let's just be honest. It's not great. Let's have a real grown-up conversation here. Be like, hey, Kayla and her team, be like, hey, if you make 145 and we started off with a bang with me versus Amanda, and maybe Ketlin Vieira wants to move up, maybe another girl or 2 wants to move up, we'll get 1 or 2 from the PFL, like a Bud or our there's a couple, you know what I mean, Aspen Ladd, whatever, right? We get a couple more and kind of round out an 8-10 man division. And Kayla goes, I'll give you 4 more fights. Like, if I'm not killing myself at 135, give me this at 145 and we'll start it and I will hang around. Again, I will give you 2-3 more years of my life. I'll do every 8 months, 10 months. And, because with her at 145, I think she can prolong it, if that makes sense.
No, I agree. And I think the reason why featherweight failed at the PFL was because Kayla left the PFL.
Yeah.
There was nothing to be excited about after that, because Cyborg can pretend she wants to fight Kayla all she wants. That fight was offered. She never took it. She's not active. Cyborg is not what they thought. Cyborg could be the new queen of PFL, but she's just not active.
Dakota Ditchva, all right?
Of course, but at 145, they thought that she could be that spot, and nobody cared. Nobody cared when Cyborg fought Pacheco, unfortunately. Yeah. Even though women are both and now PFL doesn't even have the division, so the UFC actually has the opportunity to reabsorb Cyborg,
Bud,
take Pacheco. They could take Bud, and they could build a division that would be exciting again, because the only reason that the 145 division worked in the UFC in the first place was because of Amanda. And now they can have a new Amanda with Kayla Harrison, so I do think it's absolutely possible.
It's so funny that wherever Kayla Harrison goes, that division could exist. Now it's like, hey, let's have it in the UFC. She's here and the PFL doesn't, and vice versa. The other thing too, that I think what Saturday did for Kayla, it validated everything she did before the UFC. Like, to me, all those wins, her record, whatever it was, 17-1 or 16-0 before that last fight, with Kayla winning that fight and how she won that fight, it validated what she did in the PFL and you know, that one win in Invicta, so on and so on and so on. So crazy. Talking about validation now. You want to hear someone who deserves some validation and should get it? One of the big wins of UFC 316, one of the best, most exciting flyweights on this planet. We had him on like 8 weeks ago. Absolutely love talking to him. He's so damn hot right now. He doesn't want to win at UFC 316. He wants to win at UFC 317. Talking about the one and only Joshua Van. My man, what's up, Josh?
How y'all doing?
We're
Good, man. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great.
What a crazy turn of events.
I know. What a 36 hours. Like, just take me through this 36 hours, and then we'll go to the win. We'll get to Royval. But the last 36 hours, take us through.
So we got home Sunday, you know what I mean, around 1:30. And then you know, I bought my mom a house that, like, you know, that I was trying to
Incredible,
surprise
by the
her,
way,
so
man. Hats off.
So I went straight to that house to do the preparation and stuff like that. And then I got home to surprise my mom. So around 7, my mom got to the new house, and then right before she came in, my manager Jason called. He was like, "Hey, man, you want to fight Royval?" I was like, "Hey, man, give me 5 minutes. I'll give you." And then I hung up, and then I told my coach Daniel Pineda, I was like, "Hey, they just called for Royval, man, but I gotta do, you know, this." So Daniel and Jason talked, and then, you know, I was doing my thing with my moms and stuff like that. So you know, as soon as they called, man, it was a yes. You know what I mean? It was like, what? You even got to ask? You know what I mean? Like,
Wow.
Yeah.
First of all, congrats on the house with the mom thing. Hats off to you. I love that. Huge family guy. I would double down on that, right? Like, that's amazing. That's a once off, right? Like, for you to do that to your mom is incredible, man. I much love and respect for you on that. But just the quick turnaround, that's insane to have one of the best fights on the card. Exciting fight. You looked phenomenal. Like always, there's another Joshua Van fight. And then all of a sudden, like you said, Sunday, you're getting a call about the #1 contender in your division 3 weeks out in Las Vegas. Like, incredible.
Yeah. It's just, you know, the opportunity, man, when it came, you just can't say no, man. You know what it is? So I like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's take it. And I didn't really get touched on this fight, so I was ready to go, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. You definitely don't look like a small featherweight. I know you're still young in your career. How does it feel like, okay, I just made 126, like, turn around 4 more weeks making 126 again? Like, are there any adjustments? Do you walk pretty close to fight weight? Like, how is that going?
Man, the weight cut is always easy, you know. I fought on like a week notice before, so you know what I mean? There's no way I'm not gonna make weight on 3 weeks notice. So, you know what I mean? So I'm definitely gonna make weight. It just, you know, we just gonna try our best to not get hurt like Manel. And, you know, get to the fight.
With that real quick, and El, I know you probably got some next. Josh, man, we made a post about Manel Cap. I'm telling you, you got to watch this post on Fight Bananas. I don't know if you follow us on IG or not, but you give us a follow. We made this post on Cap. 11 cancellations like in the last two and a half years. It's crazy. We did that's Cap with the Kappa with the Cap emoji. I think we nailed it. Our people nailed that. It's wild how inactive he fights and doesn't fight and signs the contract and not show up. And I know stuff happens. I totally get it and respect it. If you're not feeling 88%, maybe you shouldn't fight. I totally get that side of it. But this just seems like out of hand. Like, it seems like he's blocking sometimes the division up with signing stuff and not going through. And because he is a very talented fighter, so he does win. But it's his career is uneasy, I would say, at least in the flyweight division.
Man, he's a big guy, you know what I mean? For him to cut weight, that's not an easy cut, you know what I mean? And like you said, he's a talented fighter, man.
Yeah.
Much respect to him, but it just unfortunately, you know, things happen. He get hurt. And you know what I mean? I'm just lucky enough to not get hurt my last fight, you know, so thank you to Manel. Thank you to Royval. So you know what I mean. This opportunity comes, man. Thank you.
Well, and I feel like this isn't the first time we've kind of seen something similar like this happen at flyweight, where there is so much volatility within the division. We saw Steve Erceg, I think, was right where you were at in the rankings now when he got his title shot against Pantoja. What is the mindset? Just if you beat Brandon Royval, when you beat Brandon Royval in 4 weeks, like Pantoja's next. Do you feel like it's the timing is ideal for you? I know you're still very young in your career. Like, just how do you feel about the timing of everything? You know,
is just like you say, man. The title fight should be next, right after I win this fight. You know what I mean. But we can't count out on Kai too, you know, because I think they were fighting for a belt too, right, that day. So you know, we can't count him out, things like that. So yeah, we're just gonna see what's next.
I gotta root for my teammate winning.
Oh, that's your
Elle's an
teammate?
ATT girl. Yeah.
I'm an ATT, but
I'm 2-0 against ATT.
Joshua man's an ATT killer. This man's an ATT killer.
I'm sorry. I had to say that, man.
Bruno doesn't train me.
Real quick, you mentioned that. Do you have a? I don't want to say you're rooting for one guy or the other. Are you like, oh, I would maybe? To me, Pantoja is the legacy flyweight champ. Like, if he wins against Kai France and then you fight him and beat him, like, you get all the flowers. Like, people are talking about Pantoja versus Demetrius, who's better, so you get all that. Like, if Kai France wins it, maybe it's a better style matchup against you. I don't know. Are you rooting for one side or the other on that?
No, man. I like them both. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really like them both, man. They're cool as guys. So I think whoever. I think Kai don't need to show too much respect. That's what I feel like. You know, if you do that, I think he have a chance. But if he fight the way he fought him before, then I think Pantoja got it. So, you know, like you said, man, if I get to fight Pantoja, well, he's a champ. That's gonna be, you know what I mean? That's gonna be great.
The legacy.
And Kai is a legend too. You know what I mean? So either one.
I will admit, as much as I'm rooting for Pantoja, you versus Kai for a title would absolutely, SG's right, that would be like real life Street Fighter.
That's a banger.
Does a striker excite you more in a fight, or do you care either way?
Nah, not really. It's because you know what I mean, everybody that fight me, whether they a wrestler or not, it's a stand-up fight. You know what I mean? I make that happen. So I feel like me versus Pantoja, it's gonna be the same thing. You know, if that ever happened. So I think it's gonna be a great fight, man. But we can't look past Royval. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Motherfucker.
He's number one for a reason.
He's number one for a reason, man. He's number one for a long time too. You know what I mean? So yeah, I can't look past him, man. He's a legend.
Yeah,
I want to give Royval some flowers because he fought Moreno, who I think is one of the all-time greats at flyweight. He fought Moreno absolutely beautifully last time with the takedown defense, the get up. Do you expect that either one of you will shoot at all in this fight? And if so, who do you think initiates the grappling first?
He gonna shoot. He gonna shoot for sure. He gonna shoot. I might shoot. You know what I mean? Yeah, I gotta add new stuff to my games and stuff like that. So yeah, man, I'm very, very excited for this one. So whoever can outthink the guys first win the fight, I think. So I'm gonna have to be on my A game for this fight for sure.
Love that. I love that. Josh, we are massive fans of you. We think the flyweight championship fight right there. We think that's going to happen. But sometimes, do you just think the good Lord above that he made Merab Dvalishvili a 135er and not 125er? That guy is unbeatable. That guy is the real deal, Josh. Like, were you thinking that was going to happen? Were you rooting one way or another? Did you watch it live in the building? I know sometimes they kind of flush people out. Merab Dvalishvili looked incredible in the main event of UFC 316.
Man, you know what's crazy? I was too busy looking for food after my fight, and I didn't get to watch none of the fight. It's because you know how like it's like 1 hour ahead from Houston time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
all the interviews after the fight. When we get back to the hotel room, it was like around 11, 12. So it's like we was trying to walk around the bars and stuff like that. They ain't got nobody got food, and I was like, damn. All
You
right,
know
so by
why?
the time, huh?
Why? Because Newark is the worst city in
Oh,
America.
come on, El. Relax on Newark.
Hated being in Newark.
I
Relax.
like the people. I like the people, but not yeah.
The city,
The
not my.
city
No,
is
no.
different.
Guys, you guys, Josh, you're a vet, savvy vet in the game, multiple wins. I think you got 5 wins in the last 350 days. El, you've been around the UFC for a minute. What you guys got to do is order pizza early. You order the pizza around 9:30. You get it to the arena, and then after you win, then you got the pizza already in the house.
You see, we from a big city. You know what I'm saying? I love it, but no, like we didn't think it was gonna be that. You know that.
Right, I
like,
get you.
like that. Yeah. So yeah, man, I had to sleep without food and shit.
Yeah. Have you seen the Marab thing since, or maybe just highlights, or just what happened?
Marab, I heard it was a boring fight, so I didn't go back and watch.
You
But
heard,
huh?
you heard it was boring?
Yeah, that's what I heard. But I didn't watch
man.
it. Like I think he choked him out, right? I see the highlight
yeah.
and stuff like that. Yeah, but I didn't watch the fight.
Okay.
I didn't think it was boring.
Yeah, it was.
And I was too busy watching my own fight because I was like, damn, I did that. You know what I mean? So I was on the other.
Are you like a watch on repeat? That's what Grant, my husband Grant, does that as well. Like after the fight, he'll just be sitting in the corner, watch over and over and over.
Just studying yourself, you know.
When you say study, like, do you know personally? Like you're like, oh yeah, I'm entertaining. Like, do you know that about you and your style? Because I'm telling you from afar, a lot of people kind of are down on the flyweights. I've been trying to get people back up. Dude, I think Roy Vall is a fun fighter to watch. Brandon Pantoja is very highly talented. With Kaikar France can do his thing. Yourself, you're absolutely in that mix. You are maybe the most fun flyweight to watch. You're always going forward. You throw 9 different angles in 8 different ways. Do you know that about yourself, that you are a highly level, exciting fighter?
Man, to be honest, I know, because when I spar in the gym, like I don't do a certain thing I did in the fight. Like I don't know, it's crazy because they like a lot of people that train with me said I fight better than I train. You know, so I think my coaches are like very good on doing like the muscle memory. You know, so when fight time come, I didn't even think about what to throw. You know what I mean? Like when they throw a strike, let's say they throw a jab, so the counter just come naturally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't think about what I'm gonna throw and stuff like that. So shout out to my coaches, man. We doing the same thing over and over to the point where like the muscle memories just come natural.
Yeah. Do you feel when you're in the cage, are you one of those people where you're very clear-minded, or do you like lose time in the fight? Like do you remember everything?
I remember everything, and like I tell my coaches, I like when there's 2 minutes left, let me know. And then when the fight, you know what I mean? I was like, damn. I look at the time, I was like, it's 2 minutes, man, scream. So I was waiting for them to scream and stuff like that. So I'd be talking to myself, you know what I mean? Fight time and things like that. So yeah, I hear everything, I see everything in the cage.
I love it.
Yeah.
My last one for you, Josh, and we'll let you run unless Ellie, if you have something for him, please run it. Do you love everything else attached to the fight game? Like right now, you're going probably through this car wash of interviews, and I saw you on Ariel yesterday. Like you're doing all this media stuff. The higher and higher you get, even a fight week will be busy and busier. Do you love everything else that comes with it, or would you, if none of that came with it, if you just fought, at the apex forever, and they just paid you and just had the competition, is that okay for you, or you do love some of this stuff that comes with it?
I do and I don't at the same time, but like I don't really like being famous. I don't really like the fame. I think as long as I get paid and can look after my family, I think that's good enough for me. But it come with it, so you got to deal with the things, like a certain thing. So yeah, it's I like it and I don't like it at the same time.
Oh man, incredible day. incredible week. Like I said, I thought everything with the mom and the house thing was absolutely incredible. We'll try to push that and promote that as much as possible. We love watching and following your career. You've been awesome to us, so man, we appreciate you. We can't wait. UFC 317. It's the Ilya Charles and the Joshua Royval show. So I love it. Can't wait.
Sir, thank you. Stay tuned.
Awesome. Thanks, Joshua. We'll talk to you soon, man.
Thanks, Josh.
There you go. 10th ranked flyweight in the world, Joshua Van. Dude, what a stud.
What a beast. 23. It's 23. How insane is that?
I don't.
SG. Yeah. So they don't have green rooms in the back anymore for the UFC. It's kind of weird. So this is how they do it now: is they shuttle them in like groups. So like Grant has to I can drop him off at the venue, but usually I only do that if we're at the Apex. But like if he like goes to the fighter hotel, they shuttle them all over at a certain time, and then as soon as they fight, they shuttle them right back to the hotel. Like they can't stay and watch the fights. There's no green room anymore. It's kind of a bummer, but
it is, and I think honestly they should change that. I do. There should be pizza and a big screen for them backstage, and there should be. Guys, also Friday, massive show. Will be live for multiple hours, live at the Dawson's house. We have never done that before. We cannot wait. We'll be opening up UFC cards. We'll be giving out Zins. We'll be having great conversations, probably about Kayla Harrison's victory, Dustin Poirier fighting at UFC 318, and so much more. Make sure you're live with us Friday around 1 o'clock in that range on the East Coast. So make sure you're there for that. Elle, I got a fun question for you. You ready?
Go.
I had a picture. Nope, the picture did not make it. All right. UFC 316. 5 people on the main card. Great wins, though. We got to probably get into Pyfer and Mario Batista in a second. I know there's a lot of talk about there and Patchy Mix, but I would assume probably the fighters that had the best nights were Merab Dvalishvili and Kayla Harrison. Who had the better night Saturday at UFC 316? Was it Kayla or was it Merab?
I don't know if you can pick one. I think they both are just absolute superstars right now. The way Merab beat a version of Sean O'Malley that I thought looked really, really good and was taking this very seriously. And then for Kayla, like this is the most exciting thing to happen in women's MMA in a while. Like it really is. In like the moment with Nunez coming into the cage, they had this very respectful, very intense moment. We know that fight is happening next. And her calling Amanda into the cage meant that we didn't have to listen to them interview Juliana Pena. It was too perfect of a moment. Like it really was. Like everything fell into place for Kayla Harrison. So part of me wants to say Kayla, but I feel like they're both they're very equal to me right now. I think they're both just hitting superstardom this week.
It's funny you said that. A lot I agree with. And of course, they both had the great, probably maybe the best win or second best win of their whole career. So I'm not trying to say one is crazy better than the other, but you said something, and I think that's the last nail on the coffin. Kayla Harrison maybe saved female MMA and say female bantamweight MMA. She's now created maybe the biggest fight in female history, bigger than any Ronda Rousey fight of all time. Merab's win was awesome, but it's another bantamweight win. It doesn't change history. It doesn't change even what I think highly about Merab. He already beat O'Malley. It's like what Kayla did, and I know people were like, oh, it's female MMA. What she did, guys, she won the championship feat. She validated her whole run, judo, Olympic gold medalist, PFL, now in the UFC. And not with that, just the win, what it creates. She's fighting Amanda Nunes next. We don't know when. We don't know what weight. And a lot of it, who cares? That fight's happening next. The biggest fight in female MMA history. Kayla Harrison had the best night. I think everything with her and Trump, everything with her and American Top Team, the interviews, Merab's win is awesome, and Merab's like this for sure, but Kayla was like this and went, like that. She's superstar.
No, I agree. And I think the only way that fight may have rivaled Kayla's moment would have been if O'Malley had won, and then it's, Sandhagen and O'Malley are going to fight for the title. which was the fight we always wanted to see before Merab became champ. We wanted to see Corey Sandhagen and O'Malley fight.
Right.
And now we're going to watch Corey Sandhagen fight Merab, and I just don't see that fight going any differently than Umar or O'Malley. You know, it could, but I don't see it happening. And the fight that, like, it's not like, oh my gosh, this fight has set up the future of this division for a fight that we've been waiting forever to see. You know, it didn't have that to it,
right.
you know?
Right.
So I agree. I agree with you.
When your computer was all whack, I threw this up here. I thought this was pretty cool, actually. So let me do this with you here and see if you agree or disagree on it. Merab Dvalishvili was 4. Jumps Ilya, jumps John Jones. He becomes the number 2 pound-for-pound ranked fighter alive today. Do you agree with it, disagree, anything in between?
I don't ever have a problem with somebody who's defending their title jumping John Jones on this list. I think pound-for-pound rankings are kind of stupid.
Okay.
In general,
because whoever created this artwork, you're fired.
Not the art. The art looks great, but the rankings in general, they don't make sense, because if these were real pound for pound rankings, then John Jones is number 1, because in what universe does Alexandre Pantoja, no matter how good of a flyweight he is, beat John Jones? You know, it just and we can say the same thing about, like, female fighters. Like, if we had an overall list, like, where do the women go? Because if this is truly a pound for pound list, we don't have a single woman in the UFC that's beating the best heavyweight in the world. You know, it just doesn't exist. So for me, it's this question: how are these rankings made? And
no one knows.
Like, Jack Della Maddalena is above Pantoja for what reason? Do I think he would beat Pantoja in a fight? Of course. He's a middleweight. But did he, like, has he defended his title? No.
Nope.
Did he beat the guy better than Pantoja has beaten every single contender in his weight class? You know, it's just, what is the criteria for the pound for pound rankings? And it just doesn't make sense to me. I think it's much easier to have rankings within weight classes. You know, and I get it, because at the end of the day, it's just another marketing tool for the UFC, because if they didn't have pound for pound rankings, they couldn't have had Islam and Volkan as the number 1 and number 2 pound for pound fighters in the world. Like, they couldn't have had that moment. But how often is that moment going to happen? Now we have Merab and Islam. They're never going to fight each other. Like, it, you know, so to me, it is kind of silly. I think weight class rankings are the only thing that really makes sense personally. But so I don't ever get too upset about the pound for pound rankings, because they're completely arbitrary in my mind anyway.
Love it. Love it. Let me throw something up that's not silly. I'm super excited about this, Al. Last month, we were doing multiple things with the PFL in Orlando, Florida. Guys, they're in Nashville this week. Look at this main event. I can't wait for this fight, El Dawson. I am pumped. Jason Jackson versus Thad Jean. It's like the new school versus the old school. These welterweights. This isn't even the finals. This is the semifinals. El, I will be glued to my screen for this fight. Cannot wait.
No, I'm so pumped. And I'd love to have some fights on a Thursday night. Like, I'll definitely be tuned in. I just think this is, like, this matchup is so funny to me, not because I don't think both these fighters are incredible, and I expected them to meet in the finals. So I'm a little bummed that this fight is happening. One of these guys might be eliminated, and we're not going to see them fight 5 rounds. But I think this is so funny, because Thad Jean was an alternate in this tournament. He wasn't even supposed to be in the original tournament bracket, and PFL had no idea. They had no clue that they had this superstar just sitting in their alternate pool. And so I'm so excited for Thad Jean to just have his coming out party, earn some respect. I think Jason Jackson is a tough test for anyone, and Thad is so his career. But I'm stoked for Thad, because I think PFL has an issue with recognizing talent, and I think they missed it with Thad Jean, and I'm really excited that he was able to show that in the first round.
For sure. And you ready for this one now? Even to triple down, usually you and I are much agreeance, and we are, but I'm going to even throw one more layer on this cake for you. it's not even just about talent. And people might get upset with me saying this. There's a lot of really, really good mixed martial artists out there, and they could be 14-1, like you said, from a third world country that doesn't speak English. And I'm a very confident man, so I think I can say this. Thad Gene's a good-looking, young, can communicate. He's funny. He's very personable. His belief in God, like a lot of this stuff, like he checks all the boxes. And I'm not saying he's going to win this fight. This is a tough fight. Jason Jackson's the betting favorite. Jason Jackson, veteran, probably honestly should win this. Might be a tad early for Thad, maybe. Or this might be the Thad Gene rocket launcher that he just needed the opportunities. I can't wait for the fight. I'll be watching it. Like, this is what the PFL needs. Sometimes there's events, even on a Thursday, and there's not a lot on. I'm like, if it's on, it's on. I will be glued to my screen for this fight, El. Glued.
No, I agree. And I think Thad Gene is absolutely a superstar in the making. Like, he has the character and the personality, and he's a great human being to top it off. But and this is one of the reasons I don't like the tournament structure, because I think you can take better care of a prospect, and you can build a better superstar if you can control when they take certain fights. They did this with Sean O'Malley. I think if the UFC had just thrown Sean O'Malley right off the bat into a bracket with 8 of the best 35ers in the whole wide world, he might have fought somebody he wasn't ready for too early in his career, and he wouldn't have become the superstar that he is today. And I think that's what is hurting the PFL right now. And I don't mean to dog on them, but Thad Gene is the perfect example. If this is too much too soon for him, he is the perfect example of a guy that might thrive and be able to be a homegrown superstar for the PFL that maybe won't thrive within the tournament structure. I could be wrong. I hope he gets it done. I like Jason Jackson a lot too. But it's an interesting thing to discuss on which structure is better. And I do think that's one of the cons to the tournament structure. But yeah, I'll be tuned in on Thursday night to watch some PFL in Nashville.
For sure. And I know you weren't playing. I was about to hit my next slide, but you mentioned something. So, this is it. It's a talk show. Me and you go back and forth. It is 1,000,000% a con of a tournament style. We're in the fight game. The matchmakers make fights, and most of the time in the UFC, they make good fights. They make fights like, oh, this is going to be exciting to watch. Like, again, like the Joshua Van fight versus Royval. Like, that wouldn't have worked in the tournament. It just wouldn't felt. I can't wait for that fight. That's a fun fight. How many times, like, you get, these fights that get matched and they get made, and like people are like, oh, that's a banger. Like, right off the rip, like, you don't get that in a tournament. You never know who's going to win. And sometimes stylistically, it's not great. Like, the UFC creates the next matchup. Like, maybe Corey's actually not next, because I think he's 2-2 or 3-2 in his last 5. But, dude, we all want to see Corey versus Merab. This is our shot. We're getting it. We're finally getting it. So it's just, absolutely, you said it. Again, triple down on it. It's a huge con to be in a tournament. Absolutely. This should be the finals, El. This shouldn't be the semis. This should be the finals.
Well, this shouldn't be a finals or anything. It should be okay, Jason Jackson is the champ. Like, Thad Gene is a young prospect. Let's develop him. That's what this whole structure should be, And I do think Thad Gene is one of those guys that the right promotion can transform him into a superstar.
Absolutely. All right. Talking about transforming, this fighter is on a run right now. And El, I don't know how much back and forth you know about this. This person's not at home. This person made it have. She's like, I got to be on the show today. She's so excited. She's one of my favorite people on this planet, the strawweight savage, Gillian Robertson. What's up, G?
I had to be on the show today.
There you go. Look at you. You're in an unknown location. Let's just say that. Unknown location.
Yeah, exactly. Make it mysterious,
You are Carmen Sandiego. Oh my gosh. She is Carmen Sandiego. Where in the world is Gillian?
I know, she's flying all over the place. I love it. Dude, she's a busy woman, she's top 10. She's got big fights ahead of her. El, she's super famous. You know what I mean? Talking about being super famous, G, we will see you live Friday at the Dawson's house. We cannot wait for you to be there. It's going to be a fun time. We appreciate you coming through on Friday.
Oh, I can absolutely not wait for that. And I was going to say, hopefully has fights coming up. I'm waiting for my opponent to say yes. So
that's been lately.
Yeah, it's been about a week that we're sitting here just like, has she said yes yet? Has she said yes yet?
I hope so.
Wow. So it's on her side.
Right now,
Wow.
that's what it is. Well, obviously the location undisclosed. I'm currently in New York for a doctor's appointment, making sure that I'm all good to go for this fight. Essentially, we were still debating on getting hip surgery or not for me. I guess good news and bad news. It's past the point of being where we can do surgery on it because there's so much arthritis. So we aren't doing the surgery. We're just going to keep on doing shots until like keeping it healthy until retirement, essentially. And then at that point, I'll have to do like a full hip replacement. So we're yes for the fight. So that makes me 100% for that. But I guess not great for the hip.
I was gonna say. So when you say that, like to do a whole hip replacement 8 years from now, after you're a 2-time strawweight champion, because you didn't want to fight one time, you're like, hey, I'm gonna vacate it, and then you get it back, whatever. How long are you out on a hip replacement? That's a long thing, right?
Well, a hip replacement is something I guess reasonably can't do with me being a grappler. So I've heard of other UFC fighters who have got hip replacements, but they're, I guess, primarily boxers, so they don't necessarily need the dexterity in their joints like I do. So it's something I'm just going to kind of have to suffer through these next couple of years. We're going to do PRP and hyaluronic acid shots in it to keep a little bit extra cushion there. So I'm not constantly rubbing bone on bone. So it's not as rough for me. But yeah, I guess we're just making it through until the end right now.
Elle, I have a headache, and I for 2 days I don't see my kids, I don't see my wife, I don't see nothing. I get a headache for 2 days. I'm done. Jillian's like, dude, bone on bone, I'm fine. I'm grappling. I'll be tomorrow at the GOAT, 8 a.m. I'll be there.
SG tells me how UFC fighters casually drop the most devastating injuries.
I always make jokes because I'm like, I will literally do 5 rounds, look 100% perfect in the cage, and then be limping walking out. I'm like, it doesn't affect me in performance at all. Like, not in the slightest bit. It's just post-training, a lot of times walking is hard, or like sitting or sleeping. But while I'm in the cage, I'm 100%.
I love it. I was gonna say, before getting to UFC 316, there's so much I want to break it down and talk to you about. There's something I wanted to show you. I think you would like. So my son's team, Dylan, basketball team. His team is red. It's the Bloodline. Coolest name ever. Elle loves it. We're 3-0, by the way. G, we're undefeated. We're on our championship run, just like you. So they're red. So all my stuff, G, all my sneakers, I'm literally taking them off. I'm wearing them right now. They're all red and black. It's the Gillian Robertson sneaker collection over here. I got a new one in the mail coming my way. All red sneaks.
That's how I am with all my gear, with my gloves, my MMA gloves, my shin guards, everything. It's all red and black.
Thought you would like those. There you go. Those are the G Jordans right there. But Kayla Harrison put on a hell of a show. I watched you guys on Sunday talk a lot about it. A question you guys didn't break down. Me and Elle just went through it. Who had a better UFC 316? Kayla Harrison or Merab Dvalishvili?
I guess that's hard to say. Honestly, I was talking to Dean about it. I feel like, in a way, O'Malley and Juliana kind of look very similar in like their game plans, kind of things like that. Like they were kind of easily forced up against the cage. Once they were taken on their back, they weren't really trying to get up too much. They were like, Juliana was fishing for arm bars, O'Malley was fishing for like triangles kind of, but like still not really doing too much. I'm like, they just seem very similar, but I don't know who would be a better. That's a very good debate because I'm like, I don't know. It was definitely obviously an amazing performance, amazing defending his belt against O'Malley by Merab, and Kayla walked straight through Pena. So I'm like, it's hard to really debate that. I don't know. I don't know who to give that to.
My answer. Right?
That was a little bit of L's. This was my icing on the cake, and I agree with you. Both of them phenomenal. Probably probably the best of their singular careers to each fighter. But to me, Kayla Harrison, Merab beats Sugar, and it's another title defense, which is amazing. But he already has a win against O'Malley, and it's awesome. He looked even better. Got to stop it. Totally agree. Amazing by Merab. But for Kayla to win the championship for the first time, it validates her PFL career. And then not that, the little sneaky ice on the cake is to get Amanda Nunes in the cage and already set up that next fight. Gee, maybe the biggest female fight in UFC history. To me, Kayla Harrison had the best night. Like that was, it couldn't have done better for Kayla. Get a stoppage, get Amanda Nunes, Donald Trump's in there. It was just like perfect for Kayla. Perfect.
The Amanda Nunes face-off absolutely gave me chills.
Yeah,
just seeing them face to face. Oh my god, that night, like you said, is going to be the biggest night in female combat sports history. Period.
And it's so funny that you said that too. The thing I said right away, and I loved it. I'm so happy they hugged. I'm so happy they were respectful for each other. Like I dislike fake rivalries. If it's a real rivalry, give it to me. Like I don't mind bad blood. I love bad blood. But if you're cool with someone, if you fight Rose for the championship a year from now, and you guys are cool, that's fine. You know what I mean? You can be cool with being respectful to each other.
Oh yeah, and I'm like Rose was when I was out there with her, she was kind of saying something on that terms. We were talking about just like fighting friends in general, and she's like, "No, we do it in the gym 100 times. Why not get paid for it?" It's like it doesn't matter if we're friends or not. It's like let's go out there and get paid for it.
Absolutely. I don't know if you heard this news. We just had Joshua Van on the show 20 minutes ago, right before you came on. Massive win for him, but not even that. He gets to fight against Roy Ball at 317 in 3 weeks. Literally the number one contender fight for Joshua Van. What a crazy week for him.
Okay, huge opportunity. Absolutely blew my mind seeing that fight announcement yesterday. I'm like, kid's 23 years old, looked absolutely amazing, put on an absolute boxing clinic this weekend, and now to have such a huge opportunity right in front of him. I'm like, was John Jones 23 when he got the belt?
Ooh, close. Yeah,
I'm like, is that in question?
Wow. The flyweight John Jones, Joshua Van.
Is there any chance he fights for the title before?
Yeah,
no, it depends on that. I'm like, is he younger than when John Jones got his belt?
Like, if they're fighting in July, how about they fight in August? I mean, in December.
Okay, I was gonna say August would be awful.
No, December. They co-main event Aspinall and Jones.
That might be a thing.
When that happens.
I thought there you go. I thought that would be fun to throw in there.
Yeah,
and at that time, it could wait.
That'll be
Aspinall Jones.
It's the main event when Jones inevitably doesn't.
No. I was gonna say Aspinall Jones, Dan Pantoja, Robertson Whaley. Just throwing it out there. December.
Not arguing with that.
There you go. Crazy.
Situation.
Well, we'll get to that later. Let me throw up one thing for you, G. We'll let you run short. We appreciate you coming on. The best. I don't know if you saw this yet. Canelo Crawford officially September 13th streaming on Netflix. The sneaky thing about this and why I want to put that out there, that's great that Dana White's connected to this and it's going to be on Netflix. That's a big deal for the UFC. I don't think enough people are been picking up on that.
Just a little baby step in there, like slowly creeping our way in. I think Netflix would be an awesome platform to have the UFC. And obviously we're like on the way out with ESPN. I'm just excited to hear what's next.
Netflix is a little glitchy sometimes on my TV. Just doesn't bode well for me watching fights. I'm a little worried about that, but I am down for no ESPN.
It's great for me, and I haven't realized how big Netflix is for the younger generation, the kids. Like that's what they go to. Like they don't go to anything at first. It's YouTube or Netflix. That's their 1 and 2. So I think if the UFC gets under that umbrella, they do a great job with shows too, and like little things of that nature. Like they can do a breakdown and a countdown. I think the UFC on Netflix would be ginormous.
Oh no, I think that's absolutely huge for it. You see, even the WWE, I
Yes.
don't know if they're still doing it, but they had their Monday Night Live for a couple weeks going on. I'm like, just that, I feel like, I don't know, it had me even, like, I turned it on one night just being like, oh, what's this? It brings in a lot of people who just are general users of Netflix, which it is such a huge platform nowadays.
Well, G, if you ever want to keep into your wrestling attributes and see what's going on, my two sons and I started a little wrestling podcast. The two boys love it. They like to talk about it. We started it. We do it here in this very studio. So if you want to do it, sub the channel, watch the boys. They talk about wrestling. And maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll get a Jillian Savage reference in there sooner or later. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Oh yeah, I'll be on that, you know?
You're the best. Absolutely the best. Guys, all right, let G get back to wherever she's going. Keep the good news rolling. We can't wait to see you on Friday live. We'll be doing some fun stuff. I'm so excited. It's going to be a really, really cool event. 10 people will be in and out of the Dawson's house all day long. And G can get a lot of puppy love on Friday. A lot of puppies in there, I hear, L.
Lots of puppies. They're going to be
All right.
crazy.
There you go. G will be in heaven. G will love it.
That's all I need.
There you go. You're the best. All right, G, thank you so much.
To anyone.
Like, it's your whole face. Get ready.
Oh, my gosh. The best. Gillian the Savage Robertson. Fight news coming soon. Talk to you later.
Talk to you guys later.
There we go. Dude, she's the best. The best.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's off just traveling the world. Grant called her Carmen. Do you remember Carmen Sandiego?
Dude, I'm 40 years old. That's my prime. You know, I was 8 years old.
I love that game.
Yeah, a video game. They had a board game, a TV show, all of it. I watched it all. Yeah.
Jillian didn't know what it was. Grant called her Carmen Sandiego one day, and she's like, "Who?"
Dude,
and I was
G's 30.
What?
She's 30 now. You know.
I mean, I'm 31.
Get up there, Al. Get up there. Real quick, you know whose birthday it is today?
Who?
Miss Maddie Levine's birthday today. Shout out Maddie Levine.
Hey, happy birthday! I gotta text.
Yeah, you shouldn't text her, Al. You should call her. Give people a call.
I'm gonna call her, Dave.
Yeah, there you go. Unbelievable. All right, I got some more stuff, but like in all seriousness, I'll bring this back up. I think this is a really big news for the UFC. Like Dana White's attached to it.
Yeah.
It's the biggest boxing fight maybe like ever or our lifetime kind of thing. It's on Netflix. Come on. Like, you know, we're all grown-ups here. We all know how the game is played. The UFC will be on Netflix very soon.
I think this is like something to be said to like the argument for that Chaudhry, whatever his name is, always makes that one championship has higher viewership than the UFC, which they don't. All the numbers are ridiculously conflated, but they use a platform that's more readily available, and that's Amazon Prime. So I think it for viewership, this can't be bad. This can't possibly be bad. Having fights on a platform like Amazon Prime, like Netflix, something that is worldwide, like it can only improve things viewership wise for the UFC. I do wonder what that's going to do for fighters who get pay-per-view points. I hope the fighters don't lose that, because I think that's for these bigger names, that's a huge part of their pay. So I do wonder what the changes. Excuse me. I'm not closer. I'm 31. I'm 31. I'm not closer to 40 than I am to 30.
Come on, Jake. That's not right, Jake. That's not right, Jake.
Calm down.
Come on, Jake.
I'm much closer to 30.
Hell, if you want me to take care of him, I will take him backyard. Jake, come on.
Get hit with the bloodline Nikes. Anyway, no. It's this can only be a good thing for the viewership, but I am curious how they're going to tackle that, and if hopefully fighters don't miss out on pay.
It's super easy. You ready? Super easy. I thought about this because I think you mentioned this before. You or Grant, and the first time you mentioned it, I didn't have an answer. Then I thought about it, and I got the answer for you. Dude, as an old man, I can say that. That's the joke, Sean. That's the joke. Anyway, back
up there. He knows where up there is.
Right. Very true. just say the pay-per-view points, just say if you get 500 million buys, you get, what? Just say $5 million. I'm just using round easy numbers. If you did 600 million buys, you would get 6 million, whatever it is. So you just do it, you keep it the same, and you just have viewers. And I know they'd be like, oh, they're going to have more viewers. But if Netflix gets 1.4 million viewers, they will be so happy. They're going to make so much money. That fighter should get 500, 600. They should just get the viewers. You just make it the same. And maybe you do it a little bit more. Maybe instead of 500, you go, guys, at 700. You know what I mean?
The issue, though, is you'll get a lower percentage because if we're not paying for pay-per-views because it's included in the Netflix package, everything's going to be a little bit cheaper, and there's no way the UFC is going to lose money,
Right.
So it would either have to be the views have gone up so substantially much, or the fighters get a smaller cut,
Gotcha. Oh, I got to run 2 minutes. Talk about a fun topic about Diego Lopez. Who is he going to fight next? What's going on?
You got a picture for that? Oh, look at that. Let's go. Claims he accepted fights with Jean Silva, Aaron Pico, and Yair Rodriguez. Guys, I thought I knew what was happening with this, to be completely honest. But due to some other behind-the-scenes things, I'm not quite sure. I think maybe the UFC is a little behind on booking some of these events. I'm not sure what's going on, or if there's just been some communication issues. Because as far as I knew, Aaron Pico, and unless this was previously, as far as I know, Aaron Pico is still set to fight Movsar. That is still happening. I would have loved to see Jean Silva. I think that makes a lot of sense. But so does Yair Rodriguez. I don't think Yair Rodriguez should be fighting for the title. It does not make sense to me. I think beating a almost 40-year-old Bellator champion and not finishing him is not grounds to get back into title contention, especially when there's a guy like Movsar out there. So if Diego Lopez is fighting Yair Rodriguez, I think that tells me that Volkanovski is not fighting for a while. If that is the fight that is happening, Volk is going to be taking some time because obviously, as far as I know, Movsar is booked against Aaron Pico, and I don't really know who would be the next in line for the title other than those two. I mean, we can pull up the rankings real quick. Give me a second. Let's see. UFC rankings. Okay. So at featherweight, we've got Ilya somehow still in the rankings. And if you leave the division, you should be taken out of the rankings. But maybe they're looking to wait. I guess Murphy is number 8, guys. Like I would think Murphy as well could be in title contention. Murphy versus Lopez would make a lot of sense as well. But I think the Diego Lopez beef, like just that story, they've had beef for like years and years. Their teams don't like each other. I think there's a lot there to unpack. They got into it at a press conference where they weren't even fighting each other. I think that the UFC can do a lot with that, especially on a Noche card. Like 2 Spanish-speaking superstars on a Noche card. I think the UFC can do a lot with that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that fight happen. Is Murphy booked right now? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. What about Allen? Is Allen booked right now? I feel like Allen hasn't fought in a while either. But Ortega is obviously out of the conversation now. Allen lost to Movsar. Like, Murphy's number 8. I don't think Murphy jumps to a title shot over number 4 Yair Rodriguez. Lopez versus Aljo would be great. I don't know that you want to do that. I think a guy like Aljo can really smother Lopez's style. I think a Yair Lopez fight is much more exciting stylistically. Personally, I think Aljo's wrestling and control is so spectacular. I could see him really smothering a Lopez. It would still be a fun fight. I really enjoyed the Movsar Aljamain Sterling fight, to be honest. I know a lot of the fans did not. I thought it was incredibly high level grappling, Really fun scrambles. I really enjoyed watching it. I could see a Lopez Aljo fight being similar. But yeah, he had some good moments with Volk as well. Yeah, I could see that. But I honestly think Aljo is top 3 in that division. Yeah, no, I 100% agree. They gave him a really, really tough fight, like in Movsar. And honestly, I don't know why that's been. I don't know what the hate is for some of these guys from the UFC. I think Aljamain Sterling is a phenomenal fighter. I know he had a moment where he was unlikable for the fans for sure. But that has not been the entire story of Aljamain Sterling's career. Movsar is 19-0, and I don't think he's had obscenely boring fights, but they don't want to put him in a title contention spot. This is going to be very interesting, and I want to know what you guys think, because we saw Patricio Pitbull come over, fight Yair Rodriguez, not look great. We saw Patchy Mix come over, fight even lower in the rankings against Mario Batista, and look even worse. How do we think Aaron Pico is going to look coming from Bellator into the A-League? Like, what do you guys think that he can have a close fight with Movsar? I know accolade-wise, he has phenomenal boxing. He has fantastic wrestling. Is that truly going to carry over, though, from Bellator to the UFC? Because Patchy Mix has beat the best of the best in Bellator. And he looked out of his depth against Mario Batista last weekend. Whether he just had a bad night, albeit a very, very bad night, or whether, it was just, he's just not up to the UFC standard. I'm very interested to see what you guys think. But Sean Sterling says he's got Sterling bias. Aljo's getting married, so I don't think he'll be accepting fights soon. That's also possible. I don't know. Grant fought like less than a month before our wedding, I think. Maybe a month before our wedding, and then I fought right like a month before our wedding too. It was we were in camp at the same time. It was a really bad idea. I'm not convinced. Welcome back to the land of the living, Dave. We're discussing how Pico will do coming in against.
I was listening to it. It's a great topic because we've had fighters. I don't think, Brendan Schaub had a huge piece on this, and love me some Brendan Schaub, but I do disagree with him on this. He goes, hey, UFC is the A level, everything else is B, which I agree, and you can't just go into the A and take over. I disagree because we've had fighters do that. We've had fighters come in. Daniel Cormier, everyone forgets, had a good career in Strikeforce, came into the UFC and just kept on going because I think
It's different though.
Why?
Because at the time, the UFC wasn't yet what it is now. I feel like they were still A-level fighters that were not in the UFC. At this point, there are very few exceptions.
Kayla Harrison.
Exception. Dakota Ditcheva. Exception.
No, I get it. So that my point is, I don't think
different. Very different.
I don't think it's different. I just think there's situations. I think Patchy Mix might not be one as good as we thought he was. That very could be. Or two is, it's the big lights. And I think Joshua Vance said something awesome. He's like, dude, in sparring, I'm like, I'm not that good. He goes like, I don't think I'm as good as I am on fight night. And I think there are people like Kayla. I think Dakota's actually one of them as well. Fight night, they elevate. I think I'm one of those too. Like when we're doing like commentary stuff and they're like, hey, they're testing stuff. I'm bad. I am bad. I need the red light to be on. I need it, or I can't fake it. I'm not good at it.
No, that's fair. And I would much rather be that way than be a gym hero.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
World
I was that way in basketball. Yeah.
Just never can put it together in the cage.
Yeah.
I want to pull this comment up from Jake.
Do it.
Because I can't believe I'm agreeing with something John McCarthy has said, but he's 100% right here. Like, you have to reset the position. If I know, especially if I'm getting held down, if I'm getting held down or taken down by somebody, this is like prime Yo Romero. If I can grab the cage and lose a point or get a warning, and not get taken down, why wouldn't I do that? Why wouldn't I do that? Like there has to be, you cannot end up with an advantage after doing something illegal. And if she is trying to get up and she can't get up and her response is to do something illegal and you let her up from that, you have failed as a referee. I don't care if you take a point or not.
That's the difference.
The point still needs to be taken.
That's the difference.
But I would much rather keep my position and not have the point taken from the other fighter than have the point taken and lose my position that I worked super hard to get to.
Okay, so that's the difference. Most of it, I agree with what you're saying now. Most of it. But the one thing I will say is, I think that Kayla Harrison's a perfect example. For one, you have to take the point. And me and you have been huge on taking points away early, quick. You guys know the rules. Backstage, you all know it, right? But in that, for instance, in round 1, Kayla won that round 10-8. She does not win that round 10-8 if she doesn't get kicked illegally and continue and move forward.
That's fine. But
so my point is, if you take the point away, I will give up position all day, all night if you get the point.
Never, Dave. Never.
What?
Absolutely never. So if they take the point away and then we get stood up and I get knocked out because we got stood up and I worked super hard for a takedown that I only lost because the ref stood you up, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It is never worth losing the position. As a grappler, I can tell you,
okay,
the 100% most important thing is that you keep that position.
You are 99.9% the person more to talk about this than me. I completely agree with that, L. But the one thing I think maybe is there a fight you remember, and let me know, and if you have something off the top of your head, I would love it. It would be really funny. That what Kayla did and what Grant did to Mark Madsen and what maybe you did in your own fight, when someone is that dominating and get in that spot, I don't want to be like this. They rarely get knocked out when they stand back up.
Yeah, I mean, yes, yeah. Of course, in this instance, Juliana Pena was not going to knock out Kayla Harrison. But what if it was Amanda Nunes? What if this fight was Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes?
But what my point is, after Kayla did what she did to get her down, Amanda's not knocking her out. It's not happening.
Not true. That's not true. That happened.
Give me an instance. Give me one. Tell me one.
Well, that's a very specific scenario of somebody doing something illegal and getting stood up.
No, okay, so that's what I mean. And take 5 minutes and give me no point deduction. A grappler
got taken down and then knocked out later?
Yeah.
Okay, Jack Della Maddalena got taken down by Gilbert Burns a bunch of times and then knocked him out in the 3rd round.
No, you're right. You got one. That's right. Give me another one.
I mean,
you're right on that.
More. I can't think of 8. I'm sure if you and I sat down and went through fights where somebody got taken down and then knocked somebody else out later, I'm sure it happens. Like,
no, I get it. You are right. You're right on that. But
it's not about the odds, guys. Yes, the odds are slim. But if there is a 10% chance that you doing something illegal gives you an advantage, then it is the wrong call. Is there ever how often does a penalized team in football that's losing by a lot, how often does them not getting yardage taken away from them change the game? Probably not that often. Does that mean they shouldn't lose yardage for doing something illegal?
No, they should. They should. Your point is right. Your point is right.
There should never be a scenario where you lose a dominant position after getting fouled. And it's happened to me. It's happened to me in a fight. I got fouled. The ref stopped us, and I literally looked at. I was exact same situation as Kayla. Same situation. I'm on my knees. She up kicks me. I'll be honest, it was pretty weak, so I didn't care. I was continuing to go, but the ref stopped us. I wasn't even objecting to it. The ref stopped us and was like, "Hey, that was a legal up kick," and then went to stand us up. And I was like, "You're going to take my position away?" I was still fighting. Like, I worked super hard for this takedown. You're going to take my position away? And he's like, "Oh yeah, never mind. Put me back," because it's the right call. So
if I could ask, maybe you know this or maybe you don't, what is the call? What should the ref do in that spot?
Put them back in the situation. Put them back in guard.
I know what you're saying, but is that from the book of the law of the rule? That's what they should do?
No, because everything is the ref's discretion, which is a mistake.
Oh, okay.
This is an egregious error within the.
Gotcha.
Nothing should be, not nothing, but almost nothing should be up to the ref for what. Like, if there's an illegal blow, there should be a prescribed
right ruling.
Call. It shouldn't always be ref's discretion. Obviously, there has to be some wiggle room because this is fighting. It's a lot messier than a football game. So I do think there has to be some ref discretion. But when it comes to this, there should never be a time where a fighter on top gets fouled and loses their position. That it just shouldn't happen. It doesn't make sense.
So
and I think the same thing for if you grab the cage to stop a takedown, you should lose the position. You should end up on your back from that. Nobody would ever grab the cage again.
And a point, right?
Half or bottom side or guard, you would never do that again.
And take the point away.
Sure. I would prefer the other. Like, if I had to pick one, I would rather have the position than the point. You can always get finished. Like, I know if I am on top of you, if I work to get that taken and I'm on top of you, like, I'm winning.
Yeah.
I'm winning. Like, I don't need to get to the, like, I don't need 1 point on the judges' scorecards to win that fight.
Gotcha.
I do want my position though. Because I'm way more likely to finish you and I'm way less likely to get finished.
Especially with Kayla, I get more what you're saying in it. Just, the more and more you say it, if you're in the best position you want to be personally, and if that person does something bad, why should I lose my good position?
I worked so hard.
It's nothing I did. They did the bad thing, not me.
Guys, taking people down is such hard work. I try so hard to get people on their back. Like, don't take that away from me. This is an interesting point. Sean, I agree if it had just been maybe like one, but like this was like to me, this position is where Juliana Peña's level and inexperience showed the most in this fight. Like, this was not, I was trying to place an up kick. She went down to her knee. Timing was bad. This was not that. This was panic and an inability to stay calm in a bad situation is what this was. Juliana just started flailing her legs and then immediately did it again. Like, she kicked her twice and then went for a third. So I think the point was warranted in this situation, but I would have been like, I don't know about Kayla. I won't speak for her, but if I'd have been me in the situation, I would have rather had the position than the point if I had to.
Maybe we can ask her on Friday. With that being said, it's like a known fact. People are more afraid of talking at a funeral than being the dead body in the casket at the funeral. It's a known thing. What you just said to Julia, I've been saying all week. She was afraid for her life. Like, just the whole week. You could, you felt that. Like, you felt that at the press conference. You felt that the face-off. When the fight started, like you said, it was like, I say it all the time. If I was in a cage if me and Grant were fighting in the cage, like, I know Grant is a 99.9% more skilled technique fighter than me, but like, I would fight. Like, I wouldn't fight scared, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how else to explain it. She was fighting scared.
No, she was. And I think it's one of these things we've just seen with her career since she beat Amanda Nunes. I don't think she's ever believed a word she was saying.
Oh. And
I think that there you can do that sometimes. Like, I don't think a lot of fighters believe everything they say, but I think usually there's at least some. I think Ian Gary believes most of what he says. I think he says some silly things, but I think he honestly chilled out quite a bit. But like, I think he believes most of what he says, and I think you have to at least believe some of it. If you're just spouting stuff to spout it, but I want to pull up Sean's comment right here because he's 100% right. Also, if we do it your way, where we take the point and stand them up, it favors strikers. You can't have a system that favors one style over the other.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah, he's right. If you're a striker, I'm gonna foul every time I'm on my back. If I know I'm not gonna get DQ'd and I'm gonna get to stand up, like,
good point.
Favors you. But I agree with what you're saying about Juliana. It's just
she was afraid. Like, Colby Covington. They're like, guys, sorry to pull the curtain off. Like behind the scenes, he's actually pretty nice to people. And he's actually like, he knows he's doing this for the shtick. Like he's not really about that, if that makes sense. Like he's doing it because he's trying to sell pay-per-views and sell fights and get another fight booked and all that. Juliana, I think, is doing it out of like out of fear, like out of like
how do I stay relevant? Like survival almost?
Out of survival. That's the better word. Yeah.
One more. We're going back to this one more time. How many stand-ups do you think Poatan needs? One. If you're a knockout artist, you don't need 3 fouls.
And Kalaev didn't let it happen.
Didn't get any takedowns.
I know. I hate to ask you this on air, but I will. Is Grant joining us for the Blitz, or are we passing it this week?
I don't know if you even remember it. I'm sorry. We've had like
it's okay.
A day.
This is great. She did a poo-poo in her pants. There you go, Jake. Dude, Jake, you had the worst comment of the day and now the best. Okay, there you go, Jake.
We have the best fan base. You guys, we love you guys. We literally have the best viewers ever on Fight Bananas. Like you guys,
hey guys, if you're on YouTube, if you could like this video, it helps the algorithm. We're really trying to push YouTube, guys. So give us a like. It's that arrow up button. We should see. Let's get a lot of likes on this video. It kind of pushes it out there more. Thanks. We appreciate it.
No, I think Jillian's kind of right. Like this was kind of the story was similar for Juliana Pena, and we have to talk about Kevin Holland too.
Yeah,
like, we didn't even mention him. He had a great night, but I think she was right. I think they both had a very similar night of just like, I think Kayla and Merab are very special on top.
Yeah.
Like they get on top of people. I think it's very different, and I think you can prepare as much as you possibly can, but you're probably never. And I think Grant is the same way, because every time I've seen him fight a guy that gets up well off his back, they always fight Grant differently. Like, and I think some of these fighters, like as well as you can prepare for them, once you feel them on top of you, it's just different, you know?
Right.
I think Rob and Kayla are both like that.
Every couple of years, though, we have a underrated fighter in the UFC, and it just every 2 years it's a new guy. The most underrated fighter in the UFC right now is Mario Batista. Okay, like this guy's on an 8-fight win streak, has defeated legends, up and comers. He's won now a couple different ways. Guys, I know people don't like him for some reason. He's pretty good at mixed martial arts. Mario Batista is pretty good at fighting. He's good, guys.
No, he is. And I want to preface this like, yes, Patchy Mix did not look great, but that does not discount how incredibly prepared Mario Batista was. He looked so clean. It was honestly, even though Patchy threw 0 times, it was still a good fight. That's how good Mario Batista was.
Yeah.
Like he did nothing and it still wasn't a super boring fight. Like
completely agree. And there's only 20 minutes left. And if Grant comes, we'll do UFC 316 Atlanta Banana. But I can see the movement now. If not, I was going to say we can break down more of this. Also, too, guys, Wednesday night, 9 p.m. We're going back live again here in Fight Bananas. We have Rafael Esparza and a special guest coming on. So Wednesday at 9 p.m. on the East Coast, we're going live once again. We're just free content. Free, you get free content. You get a show. You get a show. Crazy.
I saw this post too, and it was like, what if Mario Batista has always been the one to beat Merab?
So crazy. So crazy.
He was so hated last year. And yes, the Aldo fight was not the most exciting fight, but it's not like he always fights like that. It was I feel like the Batista hate has been quite unwarranted, to be honest.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Grant Dawson, how are you doing today, sir?
Good, man. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, dude. I said this to Joshua Van. I saw this post. I thought it was so funny, so I got to say to you, do you thank the good Lord above that they made Merab Dvalishvili 135 pounds and not 155?
I mean, honestly.
How good did he look on Saturday night?
Dude, he looked really good.
He looked awesome.
Yeah, he looked really good. He's ranked pound for pound number 2 right now, and I think that is an accurate portrayal. And I'm really happy that he's getting the recognition he deserves, because he had a long road. Nothing was, we all have easy fights. We all have hard fights, but some get a few more easier matchups than other. And Merab did not get a single easy matchup.
Yeah.
Sean was the easiest matchup gotten.
And I don't know if you watched earlier or not. And it just they could be 55 years old fighting at a grocery store. Merab's just going to beat Sugar Sean O'Malley forever. It's just he has that over Sean O'Malley. Just can't be
10 out of 10 times.
Yeah, just can't do it. Like I thought Sean looked pretty good. Like I thought Sean moved well. His some of his striking, Sean looked good. I hate to be hyperbolic. I thought that was the best Merab Dvalishvili we've ever seen, and it's crazy.
The crazy thing is I think that's the best Sean O'Malley we've ever seen.
Right?
Like he's not whacking the goon or whatever the kids are saying nowadays. Like, dude, he's did I not say that right? Is that no, but
that sounds like some Gen Z talk.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Really good. It's just I had a wrestling coach once that said
whacking the goon.
No. One of our best wrestlers was wrestling against this kid at another school that was like the number one guy in the nation. And my wrestling coach said, it's very rare that you see somebody do everything right and still lose. Wow. And it's kind of what we saw. Somebody do everything right and he still lost. Like that's how good Merab is.
And real quick, we'll go back to it because I thought how you said it was so funny. And it's just how funny is that's even a topic for one of the biggest main events in bantamweight history. The guy was talking about not doing something to himself, and that was like a thing. That was a thing. Why would that be a thing? Like if you did it or not did it? Like why would you be more focused if you didn't do it? I don't get it. Am I off?
I don't think I don't think he actually did that. I think he was doing it just the same. He was just not vocal about it online. I think the biggest thing was he's like, I'm getting rid of my social media presence.
Yeah. And I agree.
Not doing drugs. Like,
I mean, he probably did some drugs.
Yeah,
I don't care. I don't know, but I don't care what he says.
One last thing before we get into UFC Atlanta Banana Blitz. Dude, Grant, we appreciate you opening up your house Friday 1 to 3 on the East Coast. It's going to be awesome, man. It's going to be a very cool live show. We appreciate anyone you kind of bring into the fold. I know Dakota Bush is going to be there. Anytime we can shine some light on Dakota Bush, we're down with that. We have some really cool guests. We're not like announcing things. I think it'll be fun to be mysterious and be surprised about who comes. But we appreciate it. We'll be in your living room doing this on Friday.
This is the first time hearing of this.
The one and only Grant Dawson.
That's why Dave keeps sending me pictures of piles of Zen.
Like, what? I don't even do Zen, bro. Like, what are you sending me these for?
Look how many cards I got. I got so many. A whole just a Target bag full of cards. This is gonna be cool. It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be good.
I hope we get a Grant Dawson signed, refractor. That's what I'm hoping for.
Oh, also, I don't know if you want to do this with the stream or not. I probably should have said this off air, but I got a very special pair of signed gloves here that maybe we should give away on Friday.
Nope, we're not giving those away.
Okay, we're saving those.
Maybe. Actually, it's funny. I found another pair of gloves. We got 2 gloves, so maybe we'll have someone there who's maybe coming, and maybe they'll sign it, and maybe we'll give those away.
Okay, fair enough.
We'll see.
Give those away for the right price.
All right, guys, here we go. UFC.
I did all that work for you to get a collector's item, is what you're saying.
No. We might. Can we talk off air about this? This is absolutely crazy. This is crazy. Oh my goodness, guys. The best, Elle and Grant Dawson. All right, guys, we are starting it right now. Banana Blitz, UFC Atlanta. Pretty cool stat card. Buckley and Usman in the main event. Rose Namajunas and the surgeon Miranda Maverick in the co. I know Elle is super excited for that fight. Not yawning at all, but a lot of other good fights on the card. Let's get into it. Guys, what is the most hype fight for UFC Atlanta?
Usman versus Buckley. Everybody is excited about welterweight right now. Everybody's excited about Joaquin Buckley, and this is the perfect benchmark to figure out if he is the next title contender.
Yeah, I have to agree. That's the fight that really sticks out. Every other fight you're kind of looking at, you're kind of like, I can pretty much see how this is going to go, I'm so curious to know how Kamaru Usman is going to do.
Okay. What's the underrated banger at UFC Atlanta?
I have one.
Yeah, and you go ahead.
I'm actually really excited to see Cody Garbrandt fight Raoni Barcelos. Barcelos is one of these guys, like he's an old dog. He's been around a really long time, same as Cody Garbrandt. And Barcelos, like, he's beating good guys.
Mhm.
Like I think the worst guy he's lost to recently is Kyler Phillips, who's ranked quite high and is a really good fighter. So I think this will be really fun. Barcelos beat Peyton Talbot, absolutely masterclassed him, a guy that everybody was super high on. The fight was really fun. There were great scrambles. And I think Cody Garbrandt, like, even though he's older, I don't think he's ever making another title run. I think he's still a fun fighter that's going to come out and try and swing for the fences. So,
I actually have two, if that's okay, because I legitimately cannot decide.
If I hear, let me see the points. Let me. I got the point system right here.
Cody Garbrandt versus I don't know how to say his name.
Ochoa.
Jose Ochoa. See,
yeah,
I can't read in my language. No way I can read in somebody else's language.
2 points for L.
I'm really excited for that fight. Cody Durden brings it every single time.
Yeah.
He is probably the person that has gotten stamped with the boring stamp the most, like, not unironic, like the most mistakenly. Like,
Undeservingly.
yeah, he is the most exciting, boring fighter there is because, dude, every fight he's in, whether he wins or loses, it's a banger. And yeah, he wrestles. He goes in there and he wrestles a bit too. But dude, he's always swinging for the fences. I actually really like this fight. And then my other one is Ricky Samoan versus Charles Jourdain. I actually think that that's going to be a pretty good fight. Ricky's coming off of a big win over our teammate and friend. Wow.
L. Dawson just got 10 points. Grant, that fight does not exist anymore, my man. Let me see.
The Ricky Samoan fight?
Yeah. Yep. He is now fighting.
Jury. Yeah.
I was.
He is now fighting Cameron Smotherland.
Cameron Smotherman?
Oh no, Ricky Simone is off. That's what it is.
Oh. So Charles Jourdain is fighting Cameron Smotherman? Wow, this like just happened. It's still on the schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as I was saying, Cody Durden versus that's my fight.
Dude,
that's my
can
pick.
we talk about this again? Charles Jourdain is making 135 pounds.
Wow, it's crazy. Iridium is breaking news.
I'm salty.
Anyway, yeah, that how is
So
he?
yeah, that fight.
He's huge.
I think Charles is out.
Oh, Charles is out. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I didn't see. Okay, so Ricky's fighting Cameron Smotherman. I didn't see that.
Yes.
I wasn't paying attention, sorry.
Simone is fighting Smotherland.
So probably because Dave cannot say his name. It's okay.
Say it again, hit me.
I digress. Smotherman?
Nope, not trying it. Not trying it. All right. So we had Cody Durden for Grant. L, I like yours. Dude, Ronnie I love Ronnie. Like, he's just always fun to watch. Like, that's the one. I think he beats Cody Garbrandt. Like, nope. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
And he just beat that undefeated kid, right? So
Yeah.
Like,
with the
black hole.
Yeah, black hole in his chest. And it wasn't like he got lucky.
No,
Like,
he looked really good.
Mauled him. And that guy went into a tattoo parlor and goes, "Hey, put a black hole in the middle of my chest."
And then matching on the back.
Yeah.
That had to hurt.
Yeah.
All right, guys, what fight is guaranteed to be finished at UFC Atlanta?
This one was hard for me.
I feel like you've already said it.
I think so too, Al. I agree with Grant.
You think it's Barcelos Garbrandt?
Yeah,
I
I feel
think
like Cody can't.
Cody's going through a midlife crisis. He's got like a face tattoo and dreads. Like, what's going on?
I mean,
Yeah.
Cody's always.
He's always had face tattoos.
So his midlife crisis is growing his hair out. So just to be clear, you shave your head and it's a midlife crisis. Cody grows his hair out.
It's a midlife crisis.
So no matter what you do, it's
No, I think that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah.
Cody Garbrandt and Ione Basalos is a
I do too.
Yeah. I also like Cody Brundage and Mansoor
Abdul Malik.
Yeah,
that's a.
It could go either way.
Yeah, it's not high quality, but we should see a finish. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you just said. Guaranteed finish. I think that's I can't see Cody. It's the same thing. I can't see Cody Brundage winning a decision. You know, he's either going to get his front and he's coming off of a knockout win himself over Julian Marquez, who I know is very tough. So I think that one's kind of a banger.
Okay. Oh, that could be an underrated banger. All right. With that being said, we just did the finish. What fight is guaranteed to go the distance? And you can't say Rose Namajunas and Miranda Maverick.
That was definitely
Dude, how that's the most, right? Like that's going 15 minutes.
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
Are we not allowed to say women's fight or just that woman?
Vanessa Demopoulos too, huh?
I don't know a whole lot about this Jamie girl. But I know Vanessa's tough. She's tough.
She's very tough.
Very tough.
You got to grab her glove if you want to finish her.
I heard she has a cool living room.
She does have a cool living room.
She does have a cool living room.
There's a stripper pole in there.
Dude, Grant.
Dave was mortified.
You brought it up.
Sometimes I set stuff up just to it's like inside the joke. If people get it, they like it. If they don't, it goes over their head. You don't have to be like, hey, yep, I jumped on the stripper pole.
I have one. I think Phil Rowe and Anja Lusa is going.
Ooh, okay.
I think that's
so. You're skipping both female fights, and you're saying that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see a sneaky sub from Vanessa or a finish from Jamie. Maybe I don't know.
I'm actually Phil Rowe is powerful, dude.
Anja Lusa though is super tough.
But he, yeah.
The only time he got finished was where he kind of chickened out with Brian Battle and the eye.
That was weird, wasn't it? That was weird.
Really, I don't think the eye poke was that bad. I think he wanted a way out. But
that's a good point.
But usually he does not get finished.
I'm going to go with Vanessa Demopoulos.
All right. There we go. Hey, we need more Vanessa Demopoulos on the show. So there we go. Guys, who's the lock of the card? Who is guaranteed to win at UFC Atlanta?
I hope I'm not off base here, but I think Malcolm Wellmaker. I love this kid.
1,000,000%.
I think I like
L 10 more points. L's in the lead right now. Big guys. Big lead for L Dawson.
I'm off my game today. I'm having a rough one.
I think Chris Moutinho is really tough, and I think he's going to beat a lot of guys outside the UFC, but I think Malcolm Wellmaker is on his way to becoming a star in the UFC. He's so good. His striking is so clean. I think this is a great matchup for him.
This is guaranteed win, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to go with a little unorthodox here. Well, I mean, he's a big favorite, so it can't be that big of an unorthodox. But I'm going to take Michael Chiesa over Court McGee.
Ooh.
Okay.
I don't think Michael Chiesa has looked good lately, but I do think this is a very big step down for him. Court McGee was on, if I'm not mistaken, the 4th or 5th Ultimate Fighter. That's how old he is. Very interesting.
Court McGee won the Brock Lesnar one or close to that? Am I off base on that?
He's the only guy, because I don't know if they used to do this, where if you lost, you could fight your way back.
Right.
And he is the only guy to lose in the show, fight his way back, and win the show.
Yeah. Wow.
I like the guy. I think he's got a great story. He OD'd and came back. Amazing story. I don't know if you knew about that, but no. I just think Michael Chiesa is going to be able to control him on the ground.
I like it. But L Dawson with the win so far with Wellmaker. Good pick, L Dawson. Who's the biggest underdog at UFC Atlanta? Who wins?
Who's the best dog?
Yes,
I think there's some value on Andre Petrosky.
I was literally just, that's mine too.
That's your pick. Yeah, I think there's value here. He's not a huge dog, plus 160, but I think that's really good value. Edmund Shabazian has consistently struggled with good wrestlers, and he's very up and down. Yeah, and Petrosky sometimes gets tired, but Edmund isn't a guy that pushes a crazy pace.
Yeah. Right.
I think Andre gets him down. He's explosive. He's athletic.
Good point.
Yeah, you're saying that Edmund consistently has struggled with good wrestlers. I'm saying that Edmund has consistently struggled with good fighters. So I just don't think you know what I mean? Am I wrong?
Good at anything.
Am I wrong?
You're
Like,
not wrong, dude. You're not wrong. You're so right, and it's so funny that you're so right. It just like Grant Dawson is the greatest person on earth to give a backhanded compliment to. It's like, Dave, you look very thick in your shirt today. Like Grant Dawson's the best at that. He is the best.
Dave, you're looking way less worse than you did yesterday.
Yes, see, there you go. There you go. Thank you, Grant. There you go.
No, I don't think Edmonds like.
No, he's guys. I think I felt like he was super popular 6 years ago because his coach was coached with Ronda Rousey, and he was a prospect, and it was like blown out of proportion. What did you say?
And his name's cool.
And I think he was maybe decently good looking and young, and it was just like it was a thing. It was like a poster. It was a thing. He's not a good mixed martial artist. There you go. Like, sometimes we're real on this show.
When you look at a guy like Andre Petrosky, I might be a little bit biased here, but I think he's just missing something. Like I don't think Edmund's a good fighter. I think Andre's just missing something. Like I can't even put my finger on it. It's not a cardio thing. It's not a striking thing. It's not a wrestling thing. I don't think he's a quitter. I think he's just missing something that I can't put my hand on.
There's something he hasn't developed yet.
And as soon
could
as
be mentally, could be a game plan. It could be something mentally that to strike when the iron's hot or something like that.
Could be he needs to go to a new gym. He's the best guy in his gym, and he's just
wow.
I don't know what the answer is. I think Edmund could go to every single gym in the world and train a lifetime there and still suck. Andre Petrosky is just missing that one thing, and he could go on a 6-7 fight win streak. So I'm picking Petrosky.
I give Grant extra.
Dude, the best in the business. The best in the business, Grant Dawson.
I need to. I'm not usually this mean to other fighters because I don't like it when people are mean to me. But man, I'm having a bad day, so they're all getting it today. Everybody's getting it today.
I'm really sorry on why you're having a bad day, but this is content gold out of Grant Dawson, So I am very sorry though. All right, who's the biggest superstar at UFC Atlanta?
I mean, right now it's Usman.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's Usman right now,
Yeah.
but it very well could be Buckley at the end of this weekend.
How about Rose?
I think she's lost her sparkle a little, which is I think she'll look good. I do. I think she'll be very prepared for Miranda Maverick.
One of the best comments to date for Grant Dawson right here.
Edmund's listening somewhere with tears in his eyes.
Grant, who's the biggest star at UFC Atlanta?
Probably Ricky. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean it's got to be Usman, right? I think Usman and Buckley aren't on this card. You could put Rose and the other one as a main event on a fight night that'll get 11,000 views and no one will really care about. I think this fight night's going to do a lot better because of Kamaru Usman and Joaquin Buckley. And it's the big question, what's Shavkat? No, not Shavkat. What's the other one?
Chimaev.
Thank you. Chimaev has looked unstoppable, unbeatable, except for when he fought Kamaru Usman on 4 days' notice. Like Kamaru came up on 4 days' notice to fight him. So I'm just so curious. Is he still with us? Is he still that good? Is he still the guy? Probably not. No, you're right. Probably not. But I never want to count out a competitor until I see it myself.
Especially since he was a super dominant champion.
Right. Who has dominated Kamaru Usman? Like
no one.
He's dominated him. They've gotten up by dude. I personally thought he could have won that fight with Chimaev. I thought it was.
Yeah, I think Usman's won every last round. There's something like that I heard, except for the knockout against Leon. It's a rare. I saw this on Twitter, so it's Twitter. But like out of his last 20 fights, other than being knocked out, he won 19 or 20 of the last round that he fought. So to me, that means he's a dog. He's a competitor. Even if he's losing, he's going to fight until the end. Like just whatever that is,
So that's usually what goes, right? You see somebody look at Jim Miller, for example. Jim Miller, I know he's way older, but Jim Miller, you saw him being able to compete against a young guy like who's the tall kid? Hooper.
Chase Hooper.
So bad with names right now today. I don't know what's going on.
Dude. I think I nailed your Hooper and I nailed your Chimaev like that. You can.
I didn't. He just goes.
We're gonna open up the cards right now. We're skip Friday. We'll just.
No, but he like totally forgot where. You could see that. I think that Miller was the better fighter. His body just could not keep up with the young Chase Hooper, right? Like, if I remember correctly, he did well in the second or the first, won one of the rounds, and then you could just tell he was just too slow. He was just he was just too, and you're not seeing that with Kamaru Usman,
right?
You're not seeing it. So and I'm not saying that he won't look like total dog shit in this next fight, but till I see him get dominated, I'm not counting him out.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to make a real quick left turn. Guys, we're live Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Also Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. We usually have two more things, but I'm going to take a left turn real quick. Grant, I got to ask you about the great Kayla Harrison winning the championship, American Top Team getting the win. And were you there when she came back in on Mako Monday? Were you there doing your thing? And just seemed like so cool of a video how she's being responded to and everything of American Top Team. Just put a 1-minute bow on Kayla Harrison winning the championship at UFC 316, hugging Donald Trump face-to-face with Amanda Nunes and walking back into the gym.
Yeah, long live the queen, man. Long live the queen. That's really all you can say. What a competitor. And I got to be honest with you. I'm assuming that her winning Olympic gold was more of a challenge than beating questionably the best female fighter at 135 that night. Like, she made it look easy. And, you know, she dealt with adversity in the cage. I think this is just me. I think Juliana Pena was trying to get DQ by up kicking her so that she had a built-in excuse. And Kayla Harrison was having none of it, you know, didn't complain when they stood him back up, when they should have put him back down, gets right back to it. Man, that bitch is a competitor. And I respect the crap out of her.
There we go. Properly well said, like always, by Grant Dawson. Grant, dude, you're the best. Dawson's, you guys are the absolute best. Like I said, hit this one more time. Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern at the Dawson's house. We'll be opening up cards. We'll be giving out Zins. We have a leaderboard for this. We got camera people. Should be a fun day. Hopefully we'll laugh, make some memories. It should be great. Guys, Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern. There we go. Anything else, Dawson's?
Yeah, who won?
LU won 52-18. It was a landslide today.
I told you.
What are these numbers?
I'm doing the count. I have a sheet right here. I'm starting.
I said you won. I was agreeing that you won. I'm just curious on these numbers. Do you watch Friends?
Yeah.
Do you know the episode when Phoebe makes up a game so that Joey can like win money and it's just like random? Oh, 15 points. Trees or cabbage. And then it's just like trees. 84 points. It's like I just feel like you're making it up.
How many towels do you have? Linen, guest, fancy guest. 11. Do you remember that one, the game?
Great guest.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, it's great. No, dude, it's a proper scoring system. You get 2, 3, 4, 5, and I control it all. Grant, you were on your A game like always, A+. Edmund Shabazian is never coming on our show, and we're okay because he's a bad mixed martial artist, so we're fine with it, okay?
So sorry, Edmund Shabazian. Sure, he's a really nice
guy. I know. Once in a while, no, dude, he's in the UFC. He's got more wins than Patchy Mix in the UFC.
Dude, how about you guys probably talked about it, but I feel like such an idiot. Like, dude, I was telling people that he was going to fight for the belt. And like, this is the guy that can beat Merab. And like, this guy is going to fight him, fight Jan, and then fight for the belt. Looked horrible.
Yeah.
Looked horrible. The moment the fight started, he just said, you can move your feet. Like,
yeah, he had concrete in his feet in the octagon. It was like a magnet holding them down. He never moved. Like,
well, and I think it was like he saw Mario moving, and he's like, "Oh, people do that here."
This is not what I'm used to. This is not. I'm used to people having good footwork.
You ready for this one? And I'm on the limb. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think it was a first. I think it was so much on him. I think a lot of the world, the MMA world, said this is the one. Like, this is the real guy to come in here. UFC jitters. I hate that he's had this 3-week thing. We've had guys come on in 2 days' notice, fight better. Like, even Moicano looked better against Islam on a day notice. Like, he fought. Like, he looked alive. He hit him standing up. Like, he looked alive. Patchy just did not look alive. I just think it was a lights. It's just too big for him.
Here's my argument to that, though, is that usually, everybody's different, I get that, but usually when somebody is dealing with the lights, when somebody's nervous, what do they try to do? They try to get it over as fast as possible. They give everything they have on one shot. They get the takedown. Right. They go crazy for the submission. They go crazy for the punches. Exhausted. And then they get their ass kicked the next 2 rounds.
Yeah.
It just looked like he didn't have an answer. It was like, dude, you cannot go on live television and say, I will submit this guy and his jiu-jitsu coach.
Yeah.
And then not take a single freaking shot.
Yeah.
He didn't even fake a shot.
I almost screenshotted this for you. Go back. It was embedded episode 2 or 3. I almost screenshotted this and sent it to you guys because Tuesday you were like, Patchy Mix for president on the show. I was like, okay, Grant, on Tuesday, I stand by that. I know, big believer. So it was Wednesday. I believe it was Wednesday the next day. Patchy Mix's hidden pads. I don't know if you guys watch Embedded together or differently or watch it at all. Go back. Wednesday, I believe, on Embedded. He's hidden pads with a coach. I hate to say this, and I hate to be this guy. This striking coach was 550 pounds, didn't know how to throw a jab. And I'm like, wait, that's who Patchy's working with? I felt watching that. I go, Patchy's going to lose. Like, this is he's working with. Where's Wood? Where's John Wood? Where's the team? Where are fighters? Even, fighters can hold pads for other people. You hold pads for Dakota Bush, I believe, one time. Like, you have attributes and you know what you're trying to see. This guy has never punched his little brother before. You know what I mean? Like, this guy is a slop. Like, it was crazy. I saw that.
Here's one thing that I will say to that. I was in Brazil, and I was in the locker room with Jamal Hill before. I wasn't with Jamal Hill, but I was in the same room as him before he fought Glover Teixeira. And if I didn't know who Jamal Hill was, I would have walked up to him and said, hey, man, is this your first amateur fight? Like, good luck. Maybe try to keep your hands up. Just go out there and have fun. Like, it takes a lot of balls to step up for your first amateur fight, because he looked so bad. He looked like, bro, I get it. There's ghetto boxing, but then there's just, I don't know what I'm doing. And I was like, this guy is not beating Glover Teixeira. And then he went out and he became the world champion. Looked great, honestly. And I'm so confused. So anytime I see that, I try to say, like, look, remember, it doesn't matter how you look on pads. It matters how you look on burning competition. I'm having a bad day, all right? This episode is not airing.
Let's end it. Grant, let's end it.
Cut the program.
All right.
Too, poor Patchy Mix's coach is catching strays.
Yeah.
Dude, he was 550 pounds. Guys, we'll see everyone Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Rafael Esparza and a special guest. And Friday, we're live at the Dawson's house. We're done for the day. I got my son. We got a big basketball game. We're trying to go 4-0 tonight. I'll send Elle and Grant the picture after we win. See everyone Wednesday night. You guys are the best. We're done. We are done.